These films from the 90s challenge conventional storytelling. Maybe that's why they ended up being overlooked for so long? Dark City. A maze of a film, twisting and turning like a Mobius strip. Enter John Murdoch, who wakes up with no memory. An alleged murderer, they say. Strange characters, these strangers, manipulating the very fabric of the city. Buildings and lives reshaped nightly at their whims. What's consistent? Chaos. Murdoch is on a quest for answers. His wife, a gorgeous singer, seems to be a stranger too. Is the world real or an elaborate set? The Iron Giant. A metal man from space, crash lands in a small town. A young boy, Hogarth, stumbles upon this behemoth and befriends him. The government's got wind of it. They deploy Kent Mansley, an agent with more bravado than sense, to deal with this so-called national threat. While the giant learns about Earth and humanity, Mansley seeks to weaponize him.
Budnick, it's like that giant thing in the woods. We don't know what it can do.
What are you talking about?
You think this middleman is fun, but who built it? The Russians, the Chinese, Martians, Canadians? I don't care! You are going to tell me about this thing, and we are going to destroy it before it destroys us!
We gotta show...
Buffalo 66. Billy Brown's life is a train wreck. Just out of prison, he kidnaps Layla, forces her to play his wife to deceive his parents. Now his folks, they're another kind of strange. Football obsessed, a sprinkle of lunacy. Billy's intent on killing Scott Woods, a man he blames for his life's failures. Does Billy succeed in his revenge quest, or does he find something more elusive?
If you fail to convince the court, and very evil and very bad things are gonna happen.
Didn't you go to jail or something? Yeah, but he was innocent.
Remember that guy Wood?
No good.
I'd really like to find him.
You're still gonna do that bad thing you said you were gonna do?
He missed that field goal on purpose. He got paid money and he missed it.
eXistenZ. A game designer, Allegra Geller, has a new virtual reality game called eXistenZ. And how do you play? Plug into your bioport, an organic opening in your spine. Allegra and a novice, Ted Pikul, delve into the game after an assassination attempt. Reality gets hazy, blurred lines between the game and the real world. Is Ted a corporate spy or an innocent bystander? Uncertainty thrives in this dizzying landscape.
eXistenZ is not just a game.
I found this in my soup, and I'm very upset.
Living in Oblivion. An indie film about making an indie film, how meta. Director Nick Reeve deals with one calamity after another. The milk machine's broken, the smoke's too thick, and his leading lady's got a tantrum. The film oscillates between on-set blunders and dream sequences. It's a comedy, a critique, a nightmare, and a tribute. Each layer adds complexity. Each sequence adds chaos. The point? Maybe there's none. Or perhaps the whole absurdity is the point itself.
Nick Rev is making a movie.
Action.
He's wonderful, isn't he?
It's something most of us only dream of doing. But for Nick,
Hey, Bob! Hey, Bob! Rolling.
the dream
Cut! Do I have to do everything myself here?
is becoming a nightmare.
What is your name anyway?
The Limey. Wilson, a British career criminal, flies to Los Angeles. His daughter's dead, and he's there to find out why. Terry Valentine, a record producer, and his murky past rise to the surface. Told in fragments, as if someone shattered a narrative mirror, then tried to piece it together. Anguish and vengeance mingle, but what stands out is the disjointed, surreal journey, not the endgame.
This bloke she was bunked up with.
Terry Valentine.
Your daughter, she had a fondness for dangerous men.
Can I help you? Terry Valentine. Do you know him? Who are you?
Primal Fear. An altar boy, Aaron, gets accused of murdering an archbishop. Enter Martin Vale, a defense lawyer with a penchant for lost causes. But there's a twist. Aaron has a dual personality. Roy, aggressive and unpredictable. The courtroom drama goes beyond the simplistic, did he or didn't he?
I speak, you do not speak. Your job is just to sit there and look innocent.
Well, I am innocent.
That's it. That's exactly how I want you to look. Can you remember that? Look in the mirror if you have.
Welcome to the dollhouse. Adolescence, a terrain more hostile than most war zones. Dawn Wiener navigates junior high as an unpopular 7th grader. Her school life? Hellish. Her home life? Indifferent at best. Yet Dawn dreams, plans to run away with a high schooler who threatens to assault her. It's not a pleasant tale, but it's starkly honest. Each moment captures the brutal, bitter essence of teenage years, with no sugarcoating to ease the aftertaste.
I can't be your girlfriend. I'm in love with someone else.
Who?
Steve Rogers. He's in high school.
Who's Steve Rogers?
Well, Steve Rogers is only like one of the most popular guys in class.
Steve, you will fall in love with me.
Pi. Mathematics and madness walk hand in hand in this frenetic film. Max Cohen is obsessed with patterns, specifically the stock market. A 216-digit number becomes his holy grail. Wall Street lurks in the shadows, and so do Jewish mystics, each with their agendas. The plot spirals, much like Max's descent into madness. There's no clean resolution, only a labyrinth that keeps going deeper, one equation at a time.
His discovery will uncover truths we cannot understand.
It's a code sent to us from God.
Unravel mysteries we thought were impossible.
This is insanity, Max. Or maybe it's genius.
Smoke. A Brooklyn tobacco shop, managed by Augie, becomes the center of multiple intersecting lives. Paul, a grieving writer, Rashid, a young man seeking to reconcile with his estranged father, and Ruby, Augie's former girlfriend. Each character's life spirals around moments observed and captured by Augie's daily photographs of his shop's corner.
There's a smoke shop where strangers meet.
It's my corner, after all. Things take place there, too, just like everywhere else.
And lives are changed forever.
Black is black, and white is white, and never the twain shall meet.
Well, it looks like they've met in this apartment.
Dead Man. William Blake, an accountant, not the poet, ends up wanted for murder in the Old West. Pursued by bounty hunters, he meets Nobody, a Native American who believes Blake is the actual poet reincarnated. Mysticism blends with bleak landscapes as Blake transitions from a meek man to an outlaw. It's not your usual Western. It's more of an odyssey into the American psyche.
He came west to find a new future.
How do you do, sir? I'm Bill Blake, your new accountant.
What he found instead was trouble.
Don't!
Safe. Carol, a San Fernando housewife, suffers from a mysterious illness. Doctors are baffled. Is it the environment? Is it all in her head? She joins a New Age retreat, Wrenwood, a haven for the chemically sensitive. But safety is elusive. The more she isolates, the sicker she becomes. An eerie examination of modern alienation, where the enemy might just be the air you breathe.
In the air, in the water, in our homes.
Oh my God.
It cannot be seen, cannot be heard, cannot be stopped.
The Last Seduction. Bridget, a femme fatale if there ever was one, swindles her husband out of drug money and hightails it to a small town. There, she manipulates Mike, an innocent local, into a murderous scheme to eliminate her husband. It's a grim fairy tale where the wicked witch doesn't get her comeuppance.
Husband is entitled to half of whatever you buy with that cash.
For how long?
Well, as long as it takes to finalize the divorce. Called 3 times since he got the paperwork, something about a loan shark in his thumb.
The $100,000 that we borrowed is $150 now, and he wants it.
I'll pay off the shark. Give me a divorce, we'll be even.
You get anything? She's in cow country.
Bob Roberts. Ever heard of a folk-singing conservative? Meet Bob Roberts, running for the U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania. A mockumentary in form but a satire at heart, the film follows Roberts as he sings about privatizing the national parks and vilifies liberals. It's humor with a dark edge, tracing the transformation of political discourse into spectacle.
Let's face it, a dark stain on American history. At no other time has lawlessness and immorality been so widespread.
You're speaking of Watergate and our invasion of Cambodia.
No, I'm not. I see. I'm speaking of you.
The Apostle. Sonny, a charismatic preacher, commits a crime of passion and flees to Louisiana. He assumes a new identity and starts a new church, all while law enforcement closes in. This isn't about redemption, but the complexities of faith and human fallibility. The pulpit, in this case, serves both as sanctuary and stage for one man's spiritual wrestling.
Well, I'm the Apostle E.F. Believe it or not, the Lord sent me to have fellowship with you.
You say God led you to me, and not to anybody else? Yes, sir, I do believe that. Yes, sir. Why should I trust you? The Lord knows what you could have been or done in the past.